Hello and welcome. I'm Kevin of Kevin's Bookcase. Today I'll be talking about three subjects, but first, welcome to my backyard. I decided to do this outside today because outside, westerns, that's the way to do it. And I'm also wearing my Lone Ranger shirt today in acceptance of June on the Range tag. Let me start off by thanking a few booktubers who have given me inspiration and ideas on how to become a booktuber. I'm learning, and I'll be doing more and more as I go, and I'll get fancier once my webcam gets to me and my computer is up and running, and I'll be able to do more editing. But for now, this is what I've got. But I'd like to thank a few people. I'd like to thank Kasha's Book Cemetery, Ollie of Criminality, Rachel of Shades of Orange, Zach's Books, Danielle's Books, Stephen Cooper of Splatploitation, Jake of The Bookish Drummer, Cliff's Dark Gems, Katrina Brown, Reading with Meg, Crystal of Fiber RC, and Nettie of Digging Books. Nettie is the one who tagged me for the June on the Range tag, so I will be answering questions here in just a moment. I just did a small little book haul from my local charity hospice, humanity, I should say. And anyway, I picked up Gunsmith number 100. So these are real quick reads, and can't go wrong. They are adult westerns, so if, they have sex scenes in them and everything, and they're very descriptive. But they have good action, very quick, very short chapters. Trailsman number 34, again another adult western, but like I said, these are real quick reads. Jake Logan, Slocum and the Bushwhackers. Again, another adult western, so something to consider. And William Johnstone, who is very prolific in writing westerns. You might hear cars in the background. You might hear my pool filter going on. So apologize for background noise, but I figure I'd just do this outside. I am friends with Jo, J.A. Johnstone. Jo is his niece. I'm also friends with Charles West, who writes other westerns, and he lives down in Florida. I'm friends with Lulu Lamora's son and daughter. So, I'm kind of got my hands out in the western world. So, anyway, like I was saying, Nettie from Digging Books decided to tag me because basically I asked for it because I wanted to. Westerns, I just love them. So anyway, I just wanted to, I'll answer some of the questions here and see what I can come up with. Number one, why is out west? Have you ever been to the American West? Yeah. I live in the American West. I live in the northeast corner of Washington State, Colville, Washington. I've been born and raised in Oregon. I've been all over Oregon and Northern California, all over Washington, eastern Montana. I've been through Wyoming. Went down to Tennessee, so I drove through Wyoming, through Nebraska, through Missouri, and then into Tennessee. Well, yeah, Kentucky and then Tennessee. Then when I drove back, I went through Kentucky, back up through Missouri, up through North and South Dakota, straight through back over through Montana, and back into Idaho where I was living at the time. So yes, I have been there and I live there, and I have traveled all over. All right, number two, Dry Gulch. What was the smallest town you've ever visited? I have a small town just about 10 miles outside of where I'm living right now, and as of 2021, the population was 218. The town I live in now, Colville, Washington, as of 2021, has a population of 4,968. So, and of course, when I lived in Oregon, I lived in Portland, and I have no idea what the population there is now, but boy, of course, you got Hillsboro, Tigard, Milwaukee, Westland, Gresham, Sandy, all that combined into one area. So I have no idea what the population is down there. Where the buffalo roam? Have you ever seen an American bison? Especially when I was driving over in Montana, sometimes you were forced to stop. Traffic would stop while a herd of bison would run across the road, going from one field to another or one forest to another. But you always had to stop, because they always had the right of way, no matter what. And what's the largest hoof animal? Well, where I live, I have moose and elk come through all here all the time. We just had moose, two moose Mooses? Mooses? Moose? I always wonder, is it plural? It's still moose? I guess so. Yeah, we just had two of them go walking through the yard a couple weeks ago. And they just walked down the fence line and crossed the road and disappeared off into another field. And who knows from there. Do you have any evidence that you live by coyotes? Yes, I do. I have cow field over on that side. I have a cow field behind me. I have a cow field just on the other side of the road. And at night, especially when I take my dog outside, they yip. And you can, oh, what an eerie sound. That's not the coyote, that's a jet going over right now. But they yip like crazy, and you can hear them. All of a sudden, you hear them yipping, and then quiet. And they yip again. You know they just moved from that area to that area, and they're just moving from one field to the next, and they're always looking for something. So basically, what I do is when I hear them, I try and get my little dog inside right away because I don't want to deal with them. Because I hear they can be fierce sometimes. Even though you're trying, to scare them away, they're not going to give up on it. If they want food, they're going to find it. What is your history of Westerns, books, movies, and TV? Well, when I was little, I grew up watching TV with my dad and my mom. I watched Lawman. I watched some of Bonanza with my dad, some Gunsmokes, and of course, watched all kinds of shows. I think I said High Chaparral, but and when it comes to movies, I watched all of Clint Eastwood's movies, spaghetti westerns, Lee Van Cleef, all the movies I could, James Stewart, and Paint Your Wagon, those kind of things. I still collect them. I still watch them, and I love them. When it comes to books, that's where I really love to do it. I really love to read the books. I read the books every time chance I get, and if I'm not reading on my Kindle, which I have a lot on my Kindle, I have physical books. If it's not physical books, I'm watching a movie. So it's constantly doing something in the Western genre. What is your relationship? What is your relationship with alcohol? Well, I don't drink very much. I might have a beer once in a while, but and I have a mixed drink maybe for Christmas and New Year's, but that's about it. Have I had a relationship with a bartender? My mom and dad owned a tavern back in '79 after I graduated in '78. So I would work in there with them. So my dad was the bartender for that. Then we sold that, and then we moved over here to Idaho in 1981. So, what do you consider, City Slicker from back east, what do you consider to be the best Western you ever read? Well, Nettie is going to try and read it for the last 2 weeks of June. I'm reading it I already read it years ago, and that was Lonesome Dove. Very good characterization, nice story. It worked out perfectly. My little dog's trying to knock over my chair. So anyway, I would say Lonesome Dove. Now, it's the first of 3, and I still have not read Streets of Laredo or Comanche Moon yet, so I'm going to have to. Those are 2 chunky ones as it is, too, so I'm going to have to get into that. So, Man with a Badge. Have you ever been in charge of other people? Yes. When I started out in the book business, they opened up a store in Spokane, Washington, and when I went over there and was working, they made me book department manager. So I had 3 people working underneath me, and I would sit there and help them, or we work together and put up displays and put out the new books and help people, get everything. So I was in charge of that book department. Sorry, I keep looking over because my little girl's walking over my 4-year-old little girl's walking over in the grass over there, and she keeps looking at me like, Dad, what are you doing? Okay, Tombstone Kid. Ever fire a gun expert, or been shot? Never been shot. I'm not really a gun expert, so I can't really say that. I have fired a gun. I fired a 30-06 once when I was about 14, 15. When I fired it, huge explosion. Scared the crap out of me. But I closed my eyes when it happened, but when I opened my eyes up, I was looking at the sky with the gun pointing up in the air. And my dad looking down at me going, "Are you okay? everything all right? I couldn't hear him because my ears were ringing so bad. I couldn't believe it. But I was still alive. And my dad and my brother were just having a gay old time and just laughing up a storm because they used shotguns all the time. It didn't bother them any. But me, I fired it and I was laying on my back. And how would you like to cash in your chips? Well, I would like to finish a book and just close the book up, turn off the light after putting it on the nightstand, and just go to sleep and just quietly go away in my sleep. That's the way I would like to go. So, yeah, that's about it. I guess this has been kind of made the rounds for this tag, so I'm not going to tag anybody else on this one. So, anyway, if you please subscribe if you like this video, put a thumbs up, put a comment, put a cowboy hat in the comments. If you have any suggestions for other westerns that you might think I would be interested in, and also if you're an author and you are looking for someone to proofread or read one of your advanced reader copies, please leave that in the comments. I'll get hold of you. I would very much like to read and give you a review of what you're writing. I'm in the process of writing short stories. I'll be doing a short story collection. Hopefully in the next, I'm writing them now, and of course, hopefully in about another year, I'll have one out of my own. So, but anyway, I hope you are reading good stuff, and please let me know what you're reading, or if you have any questions about westerns or any books. And I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, you guys take care. Bye-bye.